So it still comes down to lower body control. So footwork is important. You have to move through your hips. You know, the relationship in the two hips, we go into a stance and we turn. The relationship in this fold is what we have a little trouble finishing. So you get, let's just do the horse stance, sliding step, and go to leaning, you know, just focusing on the leg. So we just had our hands like this and we slide. Then we have to turn, right? Then this is what has trouble finalizing, because we finish the hands before that actually happens, so that never gets, you know, never gets into the final, you know. So whether, if it's here, it would be like that. If it's here, it would be like that. If it's here, it would be still like that. So it's just getting that front leg to recognize the position. So you have to fold. Yeah. A chopstick, you know, you can hold a chopstick when you fold. Yeah. 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 So see how your foot. See, when you turn, the front foot has to be stable, because if you want to close here, and this opens while you're trying to close it, you'll lose your position. So yeah, again, right. So here, yeah. So get your hip. You feel it?
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Oh.
It's just shockingly different than what I was doing.
Well.
Stay here till Saturday.
Well, if you're going to stay here till Saturday, wait, stay there again.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, go. Okay, now turn your body.
Oh boy.
Okay, now come forward. Yeah.
You're killing me.
I'm killing you?
No, you're not really.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Imagine what it's doing to me.
Oh,
No, only.
I shouldn't have
It's as simple as that, but it's just that we all take it for granted that our body's doing what we think it's supposed to be doing, but it's not doing, because there's still a little bit of misunderstanding between what's going on there. Yeah. Now when you turn there, yeah. See, yeah. Because if you go into a stance and then this is doing this, how can you be stable, right? So the first thing is when you plant, once you grab that, then it goes into the hip. So your hip, your knee, and your foot has to kind of work together, right? So we have it here, and that's what has to happen. So one of the things that happen is your hip muscle, well, the hip area has a muscle in the thigh, and it's also your butt. So if your butt doesn't allow you to twist into it, it's not going to happen. Right? So when you're here, turn the foot in a little bit, just not too that much, just a little, yeah, and then lean into here. Now bring your knee back over this way. That means that, and then turn your hip this way. See, so that's kind of what that should be like, right? You feel that? So you have a full twist. Yeah. So while we stretch in different directions, usually it's one direction. But when you maneuver into a position, you're actually going into a stretch. Because for the range of motion to happen here, it means that this has to twist here. If this doesn't give to allow you to turn, then that muscle is probably tight. So then they'll be in conflict with the movement. So the resistance of that muscle is not going to allow you to go. So you go into the position, so all the strength is in the bend, but it's not tied to that hip. Yeah. So up and down movement is changing dimensions and is broken. But when you tie it together, there's a continuity You know, it's like doing this and then doing this, right? If I did this, if he punched and I did this, then he punched again, then I went like this. You see there's two directions, right? But if I go like this, and then I go like this, there's a transition there. What did I do when I went like this, and then like this? I broke the hand movement. If I went like this, and then I went like this, there was an integration, right? You see what I mean? So between horizontal and vertical, I created the finishing product here. By turning and turning here and sinking, then I just connected my arm to my leg. So connecting my arm to my leg and maintaining a position. Right, so if I take this position, say, okay, how do I know that's correct? Because my elbow is down as I sink my knee. My position is here. Right. So when we learn a middle block, isn't it here and here? So if I'm here and he punches, I don't do that because that's like that. Right. So you're looking for the final position with the structural integrity, and that's what you learn. But if I just do this and do this, I didn't finish the position because I didn't turn my body to this. Right. So these are just like basic positions. That's fundamental in the body position. But it all looks alike. But it doesn't feel the same when you do the movement. Right? So do that again, right? So it's not connected to your torso. You had this, and you had this. So do that again, right? Okay, here, cover, and block. See, you're kind of muscling it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? You're muscling because you're out of position. Go. Still kind of weak, right? Because this and this are not working together. So if you put your hand, I'll let you see what it feels like. One, then your other hand comes, and then I'm like this. Right? 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 So feel this. Come. There's a summation of that component. Yeah. So what happened? Okay, so that position, so it's, okay, do that again. So this too far out. No leverage in the position, right? Yeah. But when you're doing this, if you're here, so here's where there's no strength. See, when it's here, right? Why? Why there's no strength? Because you don't have your body supporting that. So what do you have to do? Come closer. Okay, turn and turn. Nope. Get to a 45 degree. Begin to turn, but the shoulder continues around. You don't have your hip yet. Has to be like that. That's, yeah. I mean, this is yeah. So far out, like Paul keeps saying, far out, right? Do we understand what that means? Too far out. Too far out is because the further away from your body, the less leverage you have. It's body mechanics. If you have your arms like this, right? Pick it up. Wait a second. Pick it up. Wait a second. Pick it up. You're turning a little. You're going to blow a blood vessel on the top of your head.
Let's try another thing.
Right. But then, if you're like this, okay, no, you don't even have to do that way. Leave it out, right? Leave it out. Okay, right. Okay, I'm going to go like this. Okay, now sink your elbow and then pull in. Then you start to create some strength, right? So if my hands are like this, if I want to bend my elbow like this, Right? Now, because I'm here, I want to have, right? There's strength there, right? Because the closer you are to the action, so that actually, this is just like that, but it's really a multi-dimensional. So my hand is here. I can't lift, but I do this. I do this. Now, so you have to create the position. You create the position by changing the, okay, either way, like this, right? Okay. Right. If I'm here, I can't fold it, right? I can take a step. I can bend my elbow, right? So do you have this? Right. Right. That's what you're doing. So what we're learning is strength and direction and how to create that. So it's simple, but it doesn't work because it's in conflict with motion. So, when you do a curl, you build your bicep. When you do an uppercut, you do a strike. Because a curl only has one direction. You know what the direction is? It's towards yourself. It doesn't have any strength going like that. Because you've got your body in a position and you're curling like this, so you have a stroke like this. So it's good for lifting. But when you so you're really, in a curl, you're using just your bicep and you're stabilizing your back. But I'm not stabilizing my back here. I'm actually twisting my back. So that becomes a strike force. Right? And then here, turn, strike, and then it comes here. So now you have structure here, because your tendency is to do that. So your force, this allows you to pull it. So if you were to hold my hand, you would feel this. You don't feel this. You see what I mean? So when you're doing movement, you have to feel what that strength position is. And then if you look at this position, you look at the cross arms, where it is. You look at the length and the distance. Then you can find your natural position. Sifu Taimon is all about developing the natural strength in the position. But in fact, that's just one of our goals. But all martial arts actually should approach a naturalness of motion. Anything that you force it and you use a lot of muscular strength is not actually using it effectively. So when we go gung kuen, we're here. 1, 2, 3. 1. So there's a sinking of the elbow, a pulling in of the body, an opening, and a push. So we have to, figure out how to create. We have to generate the motion by a sequence of events. There's only one event here. You're doing a curl. It's only one event here. You might lift it to here and do a press. It builds muscular strength, but it's not the same as when we do this. Because this we lift. Our body's free to lift. If you're lifting something that's dead weight, you're not actually involving the body other than stabilizing your body from doing this. Because if you're lifting something heavy and you're doing this, you're going to hurt your back. Right? But when we're doing this, the integration of the movement is letting everything rise and align. So alignment of your position and lifting of your skeletal structure to create the motion is a motor skill. So that's different from just strength. So that's something we try to understand, right? Now, as you evolve, this is this, this is this. So something's happening here and here. And you can feel the difference in the strength. So if you throw a punch, and I'm here, right? You can feel that action as a function of this, right? So this is not just. So that's what we have. You have to, there's a disruption. You feel the disruption? So when you feel this, your attention went there, right? And then this is here, right? So you feel this would be effective because your body was jostled here. And then when you do this, then that comes there.
My response, you did that to me.
Yeah.
Was just like,
Right.
would
You
even,
well, you did that, right? You punch. If I did this, you would no.
Yeah.
Just come across like this. Your hand would come this way.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just whatever. So we don't actually do that. We're here. So what do you do? The simplest thing to defend against anything coming here is drop your elbow. See, because dropping the elbow pulls your arm back. Pulling your arm back is pulling your arm back. So it's different. Yeah, because this, if I'm pulling my arm, here's the difference. If my hand is here and he punches and I pull my arm back, I have to, in order to punch again, I have to relax it because my anticipation of my commitment is to this. But if I'm like this and I'm like this, then all I did was drop. Because I drop, I can reverse it. When I'm pulling, I can't reverse it because it's going one direction. You know, like you back your car up, you can't go forward till you change gears. But you really can't go forward till you stop. So if I pull back, I have to stop in order to go forward. But if I sink, I can still go forward. Because my commitment is not like this, my commitment is this. And because my arm does this, that's pivotal. I unpivot it. That's not the same as pulling back. So when we do this, and this, that's the action in form. But in reality, that's what you're doing. I didn't go to there, I just went to here. But the action is the same. That's how you have efficient, quick movement. It appears to be fast because it's fast because of the distance and time. If I'm here, right, and he goes. So between this and this becomes a response. Boom, boom, boom. See?
It's actually better to move in.
Yeah, you move in.
As soon as you move in, you
Well, part of moving a foot is because if I'm here, if it goes like if he's going back, because he's going back, how's the next hand going to hit? If I go like this, it goes like this, he goes back, and then I go like this, I'm already stuck myself. So the reality is when you're here, then you have to continue to drive in as an offensive motion. Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have winding, we have preset. Because if I make my move, I'm already loading up for the next motion. So you're doing that here, right? 1, 2, right, 3, 4. That's I'm loading to here. I don't have to get to here and then do that. Then there's no connection. If I'm here and I want to do elbow, it's got to go from here. I can't go and then do the elbow because there's no momentum and there's no connection. There's no continuity of the motion. So the idea of when you turn or if I step up, I'm already preloaded here. So did I expose myself? I did. but I have to close it once I open it. See? But because we're in this position, yeah, then here I'm already ready to come in, so it has to come right direct. So you have, so in order to get range of motion, I can't reach right. Then you have to slide in. You have to move in. You see? Yeah. So we know from here that we have this. So you can feel from here. No, yeah. I'm like this. This is coming in. You're gonna pick, right? So you can use your elbow. That's what the pick would be for. This. Yeah. Right. So you would go. Right. So that, right. Then you have this, and then this. Right. That's what this is for. This is reversible. This is reversible. Yeah, everything is reversible because those are postures connected, and the reason why you're going like this, like this, like this, is because that's what would happen in the natural movement. Your hands are here. You have to sink your elbow. You either come back forward or come back again. So if I'm here, it goes there. If I'm here, it goes there. So it's just back and forth. So that's why in Low Dakun and even Fu Hak and any of these, it has that movement. You notice when you're here, right? Gung Ji Kun, you turn, and then it goes from here to here to here. 1, 2, 3. So it's the action's the same, and it's in a different form. But there's only so many patterns your body can actually recognize and go through, but they're natural responses. Those are already sort of preset movements. So we don't have to invent them, trying to create a new movement. It's already there. It's whether we can use it or not, right? In Gung Ji Kun, Fu Hak, all building that. This and this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, right? Those are two movements. So in self-defense class, when one hand is here, what do you do? Right? The hands go like this. When your hand's here, the hands are here, you can drop it, open, close. That's all we're doing. 1, you open, it's cover. It's cover. So when he punches, that's 1, 2, right? If I combine the two, it's this. 1, 2, 3, right? So if I'm here, and I drop this up, you press on my arm, to here. And then the hand's here. That's back fist. So we know this, back fist. Right? So when the hand is here, I turn like that. Right? Gung Ji Kun. So if I'm here, back fist. If I'm here, it just turns out like this, and then it becomes this and this. So those are the most fundamental, basic motions that we learn. Kick, kick, punch, kick, kick, punch. 1, 2, 3. So that's, you don't lift, you drop. Here's the one position, another position, cover. That's cover, hammer, press. So this is square, angular, angular. See, so angular. I'm here, he punches, I go like this. He punches, I go like this, but that doesn't work, so I go like this. Right. Press again. This is angular. Angular points my elbow here, this goes here. This goes here. Turn my hand, goes there. And I elbow. I'm here. Turn the elbow. Elbow, back fist, elbow, back fist. It's all tied to your leg. That's as simple as you can get. But those are the movements that you rely on because they're so simple. If you're here, what else can you do from here? So I'm here, right? 1, 2. If I'm back here, he punches, I drop my elbow. He punches, I'm here. Hook. That becomes, so that between here, 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 and here is your that, right? So that's why we got to keep the joints loose to move around the point. You know, when Paul punches, I'm here. I have to rotate around this point to take it over there. I want to take it over here. So I have to spin around my position. So that's the idea, right? So when you capture something, you're here. You take it around. He presses down, you just go with the hand movement and just follow his. So Aikido, you know, when you're taking the hand, you're moving it. You're taking the hand and you're trying to find a joint position or a joint position to move. Right? So you turn and then turns. This is your elbow. Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, dance, you just stay together and but here when you get in position, you have to use, these are your mid-range movements, these are your elbows. What's that? Like if he locks your wrist, like this is he locks your wrist, right? So you go with the movement in his wrist.
And then walk up in the back.
Yeah. You let go of the wrist.
He's going to come back.
Because as soon as you feel strength on the joint, what are you going to do? He pulls the joint and you tighten. Oh, that gives him more place to play. But you relax. He folds the arm. Then he's going to pull my wrist like this. I'm like this because this is dragon claw. Your counteracting movement is to not resist it. So you go with the flow. So that's, the turning. So like if I'm going to sweep his leg and he gives me something to push, then that's actually a lock. So how do he avoids, if I go like this, he avoids by moving it, or he goes in the same direction. See, and he avoids it. So that's what this is. If I go like this, he punches, I go like this, I hook. Then he picks it up, I miss. He puts it down, then it comes back. That's what this is. So that's kind of, everything goes in two directions. I punch up like this and he blocks. So what do? This is a fake. That's your punch. This is a fake, that's a punch. That's a fake, that's a punch. So you go. So that's uppercut, punch, uppercut, punch. You have it in your 10 images, right? Right, you uppercut, then you punch, or uppercut, and you punch, or uppercut, and step again. So the movements, uppercut, punch, or you can combine them with the step. But you have to know how the chambering of the hand is here. So do that, Justin, do that movement. And then, do it again. So two things could happen, right? I can go uppercut, pull back, and punch. Or uppercut and move. When I move, I pull it back. And boom. Right? Right? So you uppercut, boom. Every time I move the body, you see? So you turn the body. I turn the body. That's it. I'm already chambered. In Tai Chi, that's what you're doing, right? So because I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. So you see the draw the bows the same way. I'm turning away, and then I release it. So all the little things that we do is just prepping the body, right? So on the withdrawal, you don't need so much strength on this, because you're not hitting anything with it. So when you do this, you just have to relax. Put the effort on the forward motion. Yeah, still a little bit in this time because it was still a pullback. It should come. It's already there. Yeah. So okay, good. One, turn more. One, turn more. Turn. Yeah. So you use your body shift as the preset. Yeah.
This arm doesn't change distance from your opponent. This does. You resist.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Yeah. So.
space. Everything else is moved in relationship to it.
Yeah, so if it takes you 3, dit, doc, to do it, then you must have an extra split second in it. That's a waste of time. So when you strike, then it's quicker. I use this to close the gap. If I go like this, I use this to reach. Then it's a waste of time and a waste of efficiency, because the closer I get, the closer the punch will be at the point of impact. But he can only feel the power.
Good control.
It's like a magnet. He repels me.
That seems kind of harsh.
Yeah, but that's what happened. Boom. And sudden, boom. So, 1. So, up, right? Step, relax, go, boom. You see what I mean? The relax phase is on the drawback.
Okay.
Relax. That's it. You get that's
Oh, that feels a lot different.
timing. So you learn to move. When you can move efficiently, then you create a natural strength. So that's, yeah. Yeah, you slide, boom. So then there's where the stance work is. Yeah. So the hand, the feet, the hip, and all that all stops at the same time. The final position. You don't have to lock it, just let it go. Let it go. Let it go, yeah, let it go. Yeah. Let it go, and boom, and let it. Yeah, you see if the body finished. Yeah.
After the punches, you have to relax that position. You don't want to hold tight.
You don't even have to, just let it go. Boom. Why? Because when I go like this, boom, I go like this, boom, boom. If I'm here, it's gone, boom, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. That's what we're learning, but we don't realize we're learning that. If you don't do that, it's boom, boom, boom. But it's boom, 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 boom. Like, yeah, their strategy is to
Take the punch or take the kick.
to hold their power as a psychological strength. Ah, that's the. But we, huh? Yeah. Well, that's the. Dynamic tension, and then they hold the tension, so they're using that muscular strength. But that strength is not a useful strength. It's dynamic and it's strong, but the idea is to be able to stand there and take the punishment, and then, resist the abuse of your tension. So be hard as a rock, but that's not the most effective way of winning a fight. Let your opponent beat the crap out of you until you and say, "Yep, I can take it," right? So self-defense is a little bit. Self-defense is a little bit different. You know, sparring is one thing because it's a game and you have to set up your opponent because it's very hard to hit a moving target. But in self-defense, usually the person's this close, or he's grabbing you, or he's grabbing you. So that's where you have to be able to move and work your technique. Because you only take 1 or 2 strikes on your side. On their side, there's a little bit of, you know, an assault going on. Unless that's why you know, knives and guns are so dangerous, because you don't get to deal with those. But when you know if someone's pushing you, you know you can actually neutralize the force and just do it. Well, you know there.
If I like grabbed you like with a
Yeah, so you have to be, you know, you have to be kind of alert that, you know, when you're around people like that. But if they pull a knife out, if they pull a knife out if they're gonna stab you, they're probably gonna stab you. You know, it's hard to defend against this. You know, but if they're away, you know, if you're that far away, you can see it, then you have to protect yourself there. But the thing is, you have to be fast. If you see it there, boom, you have to strike right away. You don't wait till that, you know, that person has the ability to, you know, get close enough to do that.
My uncle said run from a Russian gun, run from a knife. Like you
Well,
can't run from a gun.
no, you can't run from a gun.
He said, you know, if you're in a situation where there's a gun,
Yeah,
you're better off to like move in, you know,
yeah.
go with a knife. Just
No, because you move into the knife.
Right.
Yeah. But you have to judge the distance. Like if someone has a gun, if they're holding it out here, they're probably not very skillful because you just. It's the ones that hold it here that you gotta watch out for.
roundhouse to the waist.
Because they're the ones that like, boom. Just like you got, just like if they don't have a knife and you better being that close.
Maybe we all keep over balls.
Well, you know, today's a different world, but the thing is, I mean, if you know a lot about guns, you know, I had a friend that, you know, he used to teach that, you know, how to disarm a person when they have a gun and so forth, and how you can, like when they have the hand, they had some guns, I guess you press them and you can jam up the barrel and it won't shoot. That's pretty scary to do. You put your hand on the barrel, right? But
Some guns today you can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
They have different mechanisms.
yeah, so you know, you really, it's not that really. You have to know about guns to do stuff like that. But the thing is, you know, there was this guy. He walked into the, he bought all these drinks like some Gatorade and stuff, and he was a military guy, and he was cashing out. And this guy came running into the store 24, and he went to turned to the cashier, and held his gun and says, you know, he was going to rob him. This guy just, he's like he saw he was here like this, and he just would respond. He just went like that, knocked him down, took him down, and actually they caught the guy. But because he had the Gatorade and stuff in the bag, he just went whoom, and that guy got hit with the Gatorade, like 5 pounds of drinks, and the guy went down like a wet rag. But yeah, you know, the news interview, and he says, you know, how did you do it so fast? He says, I just saw that gun, and I just said, you know, and it wasn't nothing fancy. He just did a boom, and the next thing you know, he had hit the guy, and he took him down. But it's just a response because that person was so focused on that he didn't see this customer walk in by, and he just wham, he just clocked him. He did a move right from floor.
I had an older lady friend, she was kind of heavy. She was going up Fifth Avenue in New York with a fruit cake at Christmas.
Yeah.
I swear to God, and this is the most unlikely person. She was a New Yorker.
You're gonna give fruitcake a bad
She
name.
had a fruit, I like her. She had a fruit, and she had a pocketbook. And a guy, it was crowded Fifth Avenue, and a guy grabbed her pocketbook, and without thinking, she went bam, same thing.
But
Hit him with a fruitcake. I'm not making this up. She was like not an athlete.
Yeah.
She was like kind of a heavy older
The
lady.
fruitcake still
She's
tastes
fierce.
the same.
Yeah.
That's actually improved the flavor.
No, she found out that that fruitcake was a week old and was kind of hard.
She made that for me. She's a chef.
Made that guy into a fruitcake. Yeah. Well, this, you know, they talked about a lot of people had been assaulting old Chinese ladies in California. Well, there was one lady, she picked up a 254 and defended herself, and she beat the assaulted, you know. Anyways. Okay. Ready, Bob? So, you know, our forms, as mundane as they look, they're actually pretty effective. It's teaching you a lot of stuff. Yeah, better.
Is this it?
Almost. Yep, good.
It doesn't feel as weird as it did the first time.
Turn.
That's a good sign.
Turn here. No, stay there. Yeah.
How about when you do fourth form, right? The fourth form.
Your foot can go over a little bit. The back foot, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.